Get yourself another fool. Kennedy Brown. Many have the impression that having a college dorm mate would be nothing but fun, like a sleepover with your besties that lasts for 4 years, or being back home sharing dreams with your sister of what the two of you are planning for their future. Simply a great era. However, there are times when fate deals you a hand and the administration tells you who is going to be your roommate, simply because you both came from the same town. She is a freshman, and away from home for the first time, and is the total opposite of your character. Whereas Sonata is a quiet and reserved girl, with minimal people skills, low self-esteem and a marijuana habit, which is calming until the effects wear off and you begin to feel a strong sense of being not only an outcast but the punchline to your older roommate who is beautiful, smart and golden girl. To your girl interrupted, it takes less than 1 week for these two to clash, over everything from whose side of the room is whose, to one letting their boyfriend crash anytime he feels like coming over, to snitching each other out to campus police over marijuana fumes wafting into the other's clothing. Sonata, the misfit freshman, has taken all she can and will take from the popular, yet mean girl/roommate, Adelle. And the results will have a very unexpected tragedy. Teenage Sonata. Sonata. Inner City Blues. Aunt Tammy and my cousin Marcy were waiting downstairs, with my bestie Ashley. Today is the day I leave for college in Charleston, South Carolina. At 17 I had never been away from my Aunt Tammy's house ever since she adopted me at age 5 after my mom, who was Aunt Tammy's younger sister, died in a house fire, at the hands of my sperm donor dad, Davin Pearson, for insurance money. He almost got away with it, but when you are spending beyond what people thought you had, for instance a pregnant side chick, who already has one love child by you, and as many men do, they are so sprung on what they feel is their upgrade, he could no longer afford to splurge on her since he was fired from his government job, yet his wife is bringing in 6 figures, takes your name off her bank account. You do what you gotta do. In Davin's mind, if my mom was no longer willing to support him, meaning he would no longer be able to support his side chick. The messed up thing is the fact, as my dad, he was selfish and had no fatherly instincts towards me, yet he took my mother from me. And the horrifying this is the fact he thought I was home that night but 6 hours before her death, mommy had been sleeping, but woke up suddenly. Nada, dial your Aunt Tammy, and hand me the phone, then go pack your overnight bag. It's Saturday so get 2 school outfits too, you are gonna stay with your auntie for a few days. I couldn't dial it fast enough. I loved my Aunt Tammy and her daughter, Marcy, who is just 3 years older than me. But I learned later on that she had been getting a series of phone calls warning her that she was going to meet an untimely end, but she felt it was bogus. She was not going to fear the damn Reaper, at least not for herself, but after 2 previous miscarriages, she was not going to laugh anything off that put me in harm's way. So, her maternal instincts kicked in, therefore saving my life, which meant the world to her, but only to find out she lost hers for a $50,000 payout of insurance money to the only man she ever loved, besides my grandpa and her 2 brothers, all for the affections of an around-the-way girl, who runs through the money in a year and a half, and would report to the police that she thinks he had something to do with his wife's murder, pretending to have heard him planning the murder, yet now only putting 2 and 2 together. Both my maternal and paternal grandparents got permission to have the body exhumed. She died from 3rd-degree burn and smoke inhalation, so thankfully there would be enough to do an X-ray autopsy without removing her body from the casket. 2 days later, side chick, and Rena was arrested as an accomplice. Had there been an autopsy performed when mommy first died, they would have been locked the both of them up then. After all, Rena knew my mom's neck was broken, and that there were rope burns around mommy's neck, a failed attempt to hang her after breaking her neck. When that didn't cover the murder, they decided to burn the house down. As for me, Rena stated that Davin quoted, "At least the baby is sleeping. The smoke will doze her off deeper. She won't feel any pain." She later stated that he had been overheard telling his boy, Rico, this. But as soon as she was arrested, my paternal grandparents showed up to collect the baby since Rena had been arrested. However, it turns out someone had beat them to it. The kid's real dad. I spent weekends and holidays with them and knew they wanted me to live with them, but I chose to stay where my mom directed me before she died. The last time I saw Davin was the first time I saw my grandpa. Davin's dad arrested for the first time, after the guilty verdict of 35 to life was handed down. Davin had 20 minutes to say his words to his family. When he got to his dad, his own father, Steve Pearson spit directly into his son's face. Unfazed, Davin sheds a tear to approach his dad again, only to be punched so hard by my grandpa it knocked him smooth out. Guards ran up, medics ran up, which was good, but when 2 guards ran up on grandpa, it got real. This is my stupid-ass murderous son, so I whip his ass whenever I feel like it. You are a damn disgrace, boy. Get yo ass up and get knocked down again. Tony and Rachel lost their child. Tony, Rachel, man, I apologize. Nada, baby, you wanna piss on this fool right quick. My grandma Sherry was comforting my grandma Rachel, while Grandpa Tony tried to calm Grandpa Steve down. Man, this ain't yo fault, none cough this, and as much as I wanted to bring in my .38, I can't let you beat your son and catch a charge. Grandpa calmed down, until he saw Davin being lifted to his feet. Before anyone could see it coming, my grandpa did a karate jump kick, landing Davin back down, then stomping 4 ribs broken. Grandpa Tony was arrested and spent no more than an hour in booking. No charges were filed because the judge had heard all about my mommy's death and felt Grandpa was real. To beat your son over harming his our wife and endangering his own child, Judge Carol Burris applauded my grandpa and threw the case where it should have been thrown out. Gal. Come on, it's almost 7 a.m. Nobody got up to wait on you. I am proud of you for real. But get the molasses out, ya ass, move it. I laughed before yelling down, here I come Aunt Tammy. My cousin Marcy, who is now married and mom of 2, came up to me. Sonata, I am gonna miss your aggravating behind. But so proud of you, and I know Aunt Nisi is looking down crying tears of joy. I don't know. She was cut off mid-sentence. My next bestie Lachey walked up spoke. I don't even know why you trying to leave for college. Hell, you can go to community college and stay home. Aunt Tammy was about to get into the car yet stopped and turned to Lachey. Damn, I thought all these years that you were not his best friend. Lachey in her Chris Tucker voice, and you know this man. Nah, see, friends are always there with encouragement. You are the around-the-way girl who only gets dates vicariously through your friends, and your diploma variously through Sonata. Instead of being positive, you coming off hella negative. Ashley laughed. I intervened, come on y'all, let's not start. I want to get to school before my new roommate, an upperclassman who graduated from Greer 3 years ago, Adelle Fuller. As we drove out of the driveway, Marcy said, I remember Adelle, very sweet, equally sarcastic. Just mind your own and stand up for yourself. Lachey yelled, nah, that's my best friend, Sonata. I got you back on this one, boo. She, Ashley, and Aunt Tammy slapped high fives with Marcy. Adelle. Pretty girls learn to work it early. It has been a long time since I had a roommate and it was gonna be hard adjusting, especially when she is 2 classes behind me. I have all her info and realized that she was also from Greer, South Carolina. I just hope she is not as rowdy as her friend Lassie, who is my cousin, yet we only see or talk is at a family member's funeral, and then it's only speaking and moving on. But I do see her a lot. People in our town stay dying. My boyfriend, Stavros, is a factor in my life. Stav is 21 years old. He is not a student here as he works in his dad's detail shop, but when he is not working and I am not in class we are always together. But we had to be clever and sneaky for him to stay overnight at times. He is a permanent fixture in my dorm room and my heart. I hope this Sonata chick does not try to come between us. My last roommate, a chick named Juana, was a nosy trick who loved to run to the teacher after school and report everything she sees, Mr. Sorrell. But whatever she told Mr. Sorrell showed up out of nowhere, suspending me and my 2 girls, Cheryl Dura and Kelly Cross, for 2 days. Why? He said we were cheating on a test, which we were, but damn. When Sonata first came on campus to move in, I was like, yeah, she is gonna be a great roommate. Stavros doesn't count, he only stays over a few nights. She was a short, pretty girl. If she tried she could turn many of these guys' head, but I could take her under my wing and make her a 4th of my circle of girls, especially since she was from Greer, South Carolina. The country's area, I might add, so it explains just that when she introduced me to her Aunt Tammy. Tammy should not even be allowed to live within the city limits. She was loud as hell and didn't bite her tongue at all. This is my niece, and she is here to get an education, and since you are older, you are gonna make sure she is safe from these guys on this campus. And don't be having your lil handmaidens here, she said directly to Cheryl, while walking up on Kelly, pulling Kelly's shirt which was twisted to fit in order to show off her belly ring. You gonna either get raped walking around like you advertising you goodies, or either catch gangrene and die from that belly ring. Anyway, anything happens to my niece, I'm gonna jack all 3 of y'all up. We were between torture and laughter. Something told me she meant every word she said. It showed me something else. Sonata was a crybaby. Marcy said, y'all pay no attention to my mom, she didn't mean it. Aunt Tammy interjected, yes I did. Lachey says, what's up cuz? She set down a suitcase down. Sonata, this is my cousin Adelle. Adelle, this is Sonata and our girl Ashley. I blew a sigh of relief. Sonata was gonna be cool. She is just acting like a choir girl for her Aunt Tammy. Boy, was I wrong.